Maude, the double standard. Maude is met with an inner tug of war when Chris, Carol's boyfriend, is invited over to spend the night. The generation gap continues to widen when Carol has him stay in her room and Maude has him stay in the guest room. Interior Maude's living room. Maude is reading the paper when Arthur and Walter come in from a game of golf.
4.
Oh, hi, honey.
Is anyone
Hello,
drinking
Arthur.
besides Arthur?
I'll split a ginger ale with you. How was the game?
Terrible. But fortunately, Arthur made me look good.
That's what doctors are for, Walter. To make people look good.
Wrong, Arthur. Doctors make people look well. Undertakers make people look good.
Touche, Maudie.
I'm surprised you both finished with your game so early. I've been expecting Carol and her adorable new boyfriend.
Have you stopped humming the wedding march, Maude?
Would you rather I hum a funeral procession in your honor, Walter? I assure you, I am not humming any wedding march. I mean, if everybody who went camping together ended up getting married, there'd be an awful lot of Boy Scouts living together.
I mean, if he's half as attractive as you're leading on, Maudie.
Oh, Arthur, he is adorable. He's 30, but he has this baby face that makes him look tops 18. Oh, young love, isn't it marvelous?
Isn't it true? I certainly miss my Agnes. I haven't had a really good home-cooked meal since she died.
How can you tell? You're over here for a free home-cooked meal practically every night.
Ah, the life of a widower.
Think of the life Agnes must be living.
By the way, Maudie, where did Carol go?
Well, Philip is visiting his father, so Carol took the opportunity to go on a little camping trip with her boyfriend.
Oh! That young pediatrician fellow from Boston. The one with the camping truck?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So they're on a little camping trip together, huh? Well.
Well, now look, Arthur, before you say one more Carol is 27, Chris is 30, and this is 1973.
Oh, I'm not saying anything against Carol. It's just that in my day and age, there would have been a chaperone.
Come on, Arthur. In your day and age, girls wore hoop skirts.
Yeah, no, which is probably why they need a chaperone. A girl in a hoop skirt is so easy to push over.
No, really, Arthur. If you're suggesting that Carol's morality is improper...
No, I didn't say that, Maude. Now listen, Maude, I admire you. I really do. You are a truly liberated modern woman.
Well, I thank you, Arthur.
You have straightforward, delightful way of looking at a complete moral collapse of our society.
It is not the moral collapse.
A complete collapse.
It is totally the opposite. It is moral honesty, Arthur. For the very first time, people are behaving like happy, healthy human beings, which of course leaves you out of things.
It's all right, Maudie. Go ahead, snicker at morality, but I remember when Ingrid Bergman ran off to Stromboli with the Italian director, people were so shocked she wasn't permitted to make a movie for years. And now actresses like Vanessa Redgrave, Mia Farrow can have hundreds of babies out of wedlock and make all the movies they want. And that's another thing I disapprove of. Working mothers.
Look, Arthur, if this is a conversation between two consenting adults, I have just stopped consenting.
It's all right, Maude. I'm leaving anyway. What you have to realize, Maude, is there's no self-discipline anymore. There is no adult approach to life of morals. President Nixon may have his faults, but he put it in a nutshell when he said, the average American is just like a child.
Arthur, he was just talking about his advisors.
So that's it for America, huh? Another attack on the president and a complete whitewash of Vanessa Redgrave and working mothers.
Oh, Walter, for the life of me, I cannot understand how you picked me as a wife and somebody like Arthur Harmon for a best friend.
Well, he's having it the other way around. And besides, sometimes Arthur makes a lot of sense. He's not always wrong.
Carol and Chris enter.
We're here, out of the woods and into the pollution.
Oh, Carol, honey, you look
Hey, you look beautiful.
I brought her back safe and sound. Don't I deserve some kind of reward?
Oh, you certainly do. Mwah, mwah. Oh, that face, that baby pussycat face
Mother, Chris is 30 years old.
with 2-year-old skin. You know, confidentially, Chris, I have not seen skin like that since the last time I diapered Carol.
Mother, leave him alone. You're embarrassing him.
Mrs. Findlay, the bane of my existence is that I'm a baby doctor that looks like one of his patients. Please, do not contribute to that bane.
Isn't that cute? Oh, how can you resist that face?
Come on, Chris. Let's have a drink to celebrate your return to civilization.
Oh, I'd love one. By the way, here's a present for you.
A present for me?
Maude opens the gift to find...
What do I say?
How nice.
How nice.
Mother, it's a walleyed pike.
Oh, well, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah,
At least it came wrapped in the New York Times.
she's just saying that because they're anti-Nixon.
I didn't know walleyed pike were anti-Nixon. Then again, why should I be surprised? Oh, Chris, you will stay for dinner.
Oh, thank you, but I do have a long drive ahead of me up to Boston.
Why don't you spend the night with us and get up early and leave then?
Well, I'd really like to.
Oh, come
but
on now. You're going on that medical seminar up in Canada. You kids aren't going to see each other for at least a month, so it's all settled.
Well...
You might as well give in. When my mother says something's settled, it's settled.
Well, you win.
Good. I'll start preparing that dinner. Oh, that face, that face, that... Oh, come on, Walter. Let's go prepare dinner for the kids.
Maude and Walter exit.
Now, but we're all alone.
We are, aren't we? Carol, can I ask you a very personal question?
Of course.
Do you think you would still love me if I didn't have this skin?
No.
Okay, well, I'll go get my things then.
I'll help.
Cut to Findlay's kitchen. Maude is staring at the fish.
All right, I'll make a deal with you. I'll stop staring at you if you stop staring at me. Walter, what the hell do I do with this?
Give her to Florida. Tell it's part of our bonus.
And what is she going to do with it, Walter? Hang it out the window of the bus?
Well, maybe she'll enjoy the ride.
Oh, Walter, before I forget, I told Florida before she left to change the sheets in the guest room. Would you mind double checking? Since Chris is spending the night, I want to make sure he's comfortable and in clean sheets.
Yeah, okay, Maude. Just promise me you won't diaper his face before tucking him in, okay?
God'll get you for that, Walter.
Walter enters the living room and Carol is holding a few of Chris's belongings.
Oh, Walter, these are the rest of Chris's things from the camper. He's carrying in a few more. Would you mind running these up to my room?
Carol exits to the kitchen. Walter puts 2 and 2 together.
I think I'm gonna take that fish out to the park tonight. Something tells me this isn't gonna be a good place for a reformed alcoholic and a walleye pike.
Cut to Maude and Carol in the kitchen.
I hope Chris spending the night won't be too much trouble, Mother.
Oh, no trouble at all, honey. Besides, it'll give Walter and me a chance to get to know him better.
All right, but don't forget, he's got to get up early in the morning.
Don't worry, honey. We'll have a very early dinner and then just a little talk, and then I'll make sure that the both of you get a good night's sleep. By the way, honey, speaking of Chris, do I hear wedding bells?
Mother, Chris and I care about each other a lot. We even think we're in love, and as for wedding bells, well, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. That's a lovely saying. And then there's that other saying about time. It's later than you think.
Cut to Chris bringing in what remains of his things. Carol enters from the kitchen.
Hun, if you want to put your things upstairs, it's the first room on the right.
Oh, all right, fine.
Chris exits upstairs. Maude enters.
You're using the good china for Chris? Thank you.
Of course. If he steals, we don't want him to think we're cheap.
Walter comes downstairs.
Hey, ladies. Maude, I checked the sheets that Flo had changed in the guest room, like you asked. I helped Chris set up some of his things in your room, like you asked, Carol. And I hope I have enough strength to go deal with how this night is going to go.
He exits to the kitchen.
Carol, why did Walter help Chris get set up in your room?
Well, why did you have Florida change the sheets in the guest room?
Because they were dirty?
Mother, you do realize that Chris is staying here so we can be together.
Of course I knew, honey. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Chris enters.
Hey, Carol, you sure got a nice room.
Look, Chris, Carol, why don't the two of you just sit down and relax, and I'll go into the bedroom and check on dinner. I mean, the kitchen.
She exits to the kitchen.
Carol, your mother isn't uptight about my staying here, is she?
No, my mother's the most modern woman I know.
A crash is heard in the kitchen. Maude re-enters.
Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes.
Mother, you're not upset because Chris and I are staying here.
I'm not? I mean, I'm not. I'm
You
not.
sure? I mean, I can sleep in the camper.
Please, Chris, don't be ridiculous. Look, Carol, you've known me for 27 years. You know that I'm a completely emancipated mother. So welcome to my home, Chris, and the two of you are going to stay together upstairs for better or worse, and that's that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go back into the bedroom and finish dinner.
Cut to Maude in the kitchen, furiously finishing up the meal. Walter peeks over the paper he's been hiding behind.
Maude, are you bothered by them staying?
I'm not bothered.
I want you to level with me.
I'm not bothered. I am not bothered. Why should I be bothered? I'm a completely modern mother. Carol is 27, Chris is 30, and this is 1973. Oh, Walter, not under my own roof.
End of scene 1. Open scene 2. Interior Findlay's living room. It's after dinner and it's getting late. Maude is thinking up anything she can to prolong Chris and Carol from going to bed.
So don't take my sunshine away. No, please don't take my sunshine away. One more time. No, please don't take my sunshine
Very nice, very nice. Well done.
You are my sunshine, my
Wait,
only
Mother,
sunshine.
isn't it about time we went to bed?
I'm not the least bit tired. You know I could go on like this for hours.
Already have. Why don't you let the kids go upstairs?
Carol, you want to talk women's lib? Do you know what we were singing 30 years ago? There once was a union maid.
Mother,
never was
I'm going to bed.
No!
Maude, I've got kind of a hunch about what you're trying to do here.
You guessed it! Charades! Oh, you must have been reading my mind.
Oh, Maude.
Oh, come on, sweetheart. You know how well I sleep after a strenuous game of charades.
I was about to say I was all for it. I love
Do you want to
charades.
play?
Sure. But I want to go first. I got a great one.
Oh, wonderful! Okay, everyone, okay, sit down, sit down. Oh, isn't this exciting? One word. 2 syllables. First syllable. Bad. Medium. Medium well. Rare. Good. Good? Good? Oh, good. Relax, kids. We got this. Second syllable. Time. Sleep. Sleep. Bed. Good bed. Good sleep. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, Maude.
Oh, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it? What don't you believe?
You're stalling. That's what I don't believe.
Stalling? Why should I be stalling?
Well, it could be because you'd be a lot happier if Carol and I didn't stay here tonight.
Oh, come on, Chris. Don't be ridiculous. There's an old Spanish expression. Mi casa es su casa.
What does that mean?
How the hell do I know? Ask an old Spaniard.
Mother, you're not fooling anybody.
Look, Carol, why don't I just drive up to Boston tonight and I can get an early start?
Good idea. If I wasn't so tired, I'd go with you.
Mother, look, Chris and I won't see each other for 4 to 6 weeks. We'd really like to be alone.
Then be alone. Be alone all over the place for all I care.
Mother, I love you, but you're driving me crazy. Now look, I'm going to go upstairs and get our things and leave.
Chris and Carol exit to the upstairs.
All right, go.
Maude.
Oh, Walter. Walter.
It's all right.
How could you do this to me?
What did I do?
I just threw my daughter out of the house. You didn't even lift a finger to stop me, and you should have stopped me, Walter.
It's easier to stop the Green Bay Packers, Maude.
You're basically average, Walter.
Maude.
Average.
Maude, it's all over. They're leaving.
I don't want them to go.
Then why did you keep us up all night?
Oh, because I talk one way and I act another. I'm a hypocrite, Walter. Admit it, I'm a hypocrite.
All right, you're a hypocrite.
If I want a parrot, I'll buy one.
Maude, don't be so upset. This discussion is happening in houses all over the country.
I know, Walter, but I don't want to impose the views of my generation on Carol. I mean, let's face it, our whole generation's a mess anyway. I mean, for instance, how many people do you know at the club who are married and fooling around? And I don't mean with each other.
That's true. A couple of women have even made passes at me.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Names, Walter.
Maude, one argument at a time. What about the morality lecture you gave Arthur? And why should this thing with Chris and Carol bother you? It obviously didn't bother you when she spent 4 days with them on a camping trip. Right, Maude?
Wrong, Walter. When Carol told me she was thinking of running off with Chris for 4 days in a camper, I put a tooth mark in my tongue that'll take 10 years to heal.
You. Maude Findlay.
Walter, I'm a square. I mean, I may not always practice it, but I believe in the old-fashioned things, in the ring, in the vows, in the license, in the ceremony, in the wedding bed, and in that order. I'm Maude Findlay. In my heart, I'm Arthur Harmon. Promise you won't tell the neighbors.
Maude, you don't have to be ashamed of what you are. There's got to be millions of mothers facing this problem who feel exactly the same way as you do.
But Walter, it's so old-fashioned.
And what's wrong with old-fashioned? These feelings that you have are just as honest and valid as they were 100 years ago.
Oh, Walter, I am stuck with both feet in my generation. I want to have at least one in Carol's.
Sweetheart, if that's what you really want, then tell Chris and Carol you want them to stay.
Thank you, Walter. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Okay, you two. Now, where do you think you're going?
We're leaving, Mother.
No! I've thought it all over, and you're staying here, and that's that.
Mother, please, let's not open that can of peas again.
No, you're not leaving, not this way.
Mother, will you please get out of the way?
No.
Chris, will you please get my mother out of the way?
Maude? Look, Carol, it's been a long evening. I've been patient, polite. I sang folk songs. I did this for you under very trying circumstances, so please do not ask me to move your mother.
Oh, come on, kids. Now look, I refuse to be upset about the two of you staying here in my own house. I mean, Lord only knows what went on in that camper. Strike that!
Maude, do you realize what you're asking? You want Carol and me to stay upstairs to prove that you're a modern mother.
Look, after all the trouble you brought into this house, you owe me a favor.
Mother, do you honestly think Chris and I could stay in this house after all of this?
You're right. Walter, get your toothbrush. We're leaving.
I'm not going anywhere.
Come on, Walter. We can stay in the camper. You always said you wanted to get close to nature.
Yeah, during the day, Maude. Not in the middle of the night. Could be a big dog out there.
Mother, maybe we'd better go into the kitchen. We'll be right back.
Whew. Time sure flies when you're having fun.
Cut to Maude and Carol in the kitchen. Maude is holding her head.
All right, Carol, who talks first?
Mother, none of this would have happened if you hadn't asked Chris to stay.
Oh, come on now, Carol. You could have stayed in separate rooms.
What are you talking about? I couldn't just sleep in another room. I'd feel like a hypocrite. The truth is, I didn't want him to stay in the first place.
Oh, come on now, Carol. You are totally confusing me.
Well, it's not your fault, Mother. It has nothing to do with you. It's me. I never realized it until a little while ago, but, well, I guess the reason I never asked him to stay before is maybe not with you right upstairs, right across the hall, not under my own mother's roof.
Do you realize what you just said?
Of course I realize what I just said. I said it, didn't I? So you're not the only one who's old-fashioned, and you don't have to feel guilty.
Look, if I want to feel guilty, I'll feel guilty. It cleanses my soul. Some people take laxatives, I take guilt.
Well, I guess I'm just a chip off the old block.
Oh, honey. You know, you and I are exactly alike. You remember last year when Walter and I stayed at my mother's house? She was right across the hall, too. Do you know I wouldn't even let Walter kiss me? I treated him like he was just someone who climbed in through the window.
Good night, Mother.
Honey, are you sure you're not leaving just to let me off the hook?
I'm sure. We won't see each other for 4 weeks, and we'd really like to be alone.
Scout's honor? Oh, Carol. Oh, honey, if you ever have a daughter, I hope she's lucky enough to turn out just like you.
Thank you, Mother.
And for her sake, I hope her mother turns out like me.
Maude sends Carol out to the living room. End of scene 2, epilogue. Interior Findlay living room. It's dark. Carol and Chris enter excitedly.
Mother!
Come on, wake up.
Mother, come downstairs, hurry!
Come on, everybody, wake up.
What's wrong? What happened?
We have something to tell you.
What? Oh, come on. Now look, you wake us up at 4 o'clock in the morning. This better be good.
Good, it's gonna be great. I don't know what you'll think, but Carol and I are out of our skulls. Go ahead, tell him, Carol.
Chris and I are engaged!
Oh, Walter! Oh, Walter!
Congratulations!
Oh, and you! Oh,
Lord, please, not the face.
oh, honey, I am so happy!
Well, then, you don't mind if I stay over?
Mind? Are you kidding? I wouldn't have it any other way! Come on, Carol, let's fix the guest room for him.
They look around confused. Walter shrugs his shoulders. Fade to black. End of episode 1.
stretch stocking and pantyhose. Our legs fit your legs. So long baggy knees and wrinkly ankles. Our legs fit your legs. Get 'em at the Legs Boutique.
American oil dealers announced the All-American giveaway. With every fill-up of Amoco lead-free or American gasolines, you get this free box of all detergent. It has a coupon worth 25 cents toward the purchase of all at your supermarket. And while you're there, look for these specially marked boxes of all. Inside are gasoline coupons worth 50 cents or $1. So save at your store and save at your participating American oil dealers now.
Don't ask a cold tablet or nighttime liquid to do Contact's job of continuous relief. You're looking right at the reason. 600 tiny time pills in this one capsule can give you up to 12 hours of relief from the cold symptoms you hate. Sneezing, runny nose, nasal congestion. One at night, one in the morning. That's it. Not just nighttime relief, but all day, then all night relief. That's Contact's job. Give your call to Contact. #1 in the whole world.
If your brake pedal feels low, are you in for a costly brake job? Not necessarily. Just back up a few times like this. It adjusts your self-adjusting brakes. If that doesn't work, of course, have your brakes checked. I'm the BP miser, and that's another money-saving hint from my catalog. Can the man at your BP station see that you get a copy? Free?
The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. The Queen and the Jester.
This is a serious musical number, and I just want to figure out how to make it better. But out.
The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour.
Carol's problem, the wedding gift. Maude puts a deposit on a house for Carol, and her soon-to-be husband, Chris, has a wedding present without telling Carol. Too good to be true, the house is perfect, but there's just one small problem. It's right across the street from the Findlays. Comedy ensues in this mother versus daughter episode of Maude. Interior kitchen. Maude is at the stove reading a cookbook. Walter enters.
Ooh, hot breakfast for me.
No. I'm just looking up recipes that only Julia Child would have the patience for. You are getting frozen waffles.
Boy, you're in some mood this morning. Suppose a good morning kiss is out of the question?
Is the Pope Jewish? Walter, how can you expect me to give you a good morning kiss after what you did to me last night?
What did I do to you last night?
Nothing. That is nothing except followed by the drowning man's groan. From midnight to 7:30 this morning, you were one continual. At 3:45, I almost tossed you a fish.
You trying to tell me again that I snored all night?
Walter, you didn't even stop when you got up to go to the bathroom.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. If I snort that much and that loud, I'd not only wake you up, I'd wake me up.
Walter, my dear, there's only one thing that could possibly wake you up in the middle of the night. And as the years tick on, that's growing more and more out of the question.
Good morning, all. Not so good, huh?
We've had better Sunday mornings, Arthur. Maude insists that my snoring kept her up last night.
Aw, that's too bad, Maude. Well, there's only one answer to that problem. Separate bedrooms. That's the understanding that Agnes and I finally came to. No use keeping each other up, so Agnes decided to sleep alone.
Agnes died, Arthur. I don't think I want to carry that.
Well, you got a point there, Maude. As a matter of fact, that's how I found out she died. She just stopped snoring. I heard just one last and she was gone. Well, how about some handball, Walter?
No, he can't. Carol's fiance is down for the weekend. We have a big surprise for both of them, and I want Walter here when we tell them.
Oh, that's your surprise, Maude. I don't want any part of it.
What's the surprise?
Oh, Arthur, what could it be? You know they're going to be getting married pretty soon. You know I'm in real estate. You know they're going to need a place to live.
I got it. I've got it! You found them a house!
Arthur, you are so perceptive. Is he brilliant, Walter? No, we really need brains like yours in Washington. On second thought, we already have brains like yours in Washington.
You know, Maude, selecting a house is a very personal matter. How do you know they'll like it?
She doesn't. You're meddling.
What is so wrong with wanting to give two wonderful kids a start in life?
Maude, not everyone needs their parents' help. Look at us. Your mother never helped us when we got married.
She certainly did.
Oh, she never even came around.
That's how.
I'm not getting in the middle of this. I will say this, however. You'll make a great mistake if you make things too easy for Chris and Carol. Nobody gave me a helping hand. The day I graduated from medical school, my father said to me, "Arthur," he said, "you're on your own. You get no help from me." And just to prove that he meant it, he retired. That very day, I took over the medical practice.
Honey, in Chris's honor, we'll have brunch in the dining room. Help me set the table.
What about Carol?
Carol is going out with Chris. Now help me set the table, or from now on a certain very heavy snorer will be sleeping with 2 Q-tips up his nose.
Maude and Walter exit to the dining living room. Carol comes downstairs.
Mother, these 2 sweaters you bought me last week, which one shall I wear today?
Oh, honey, whichever you like better. They're both beautiful.
All right, I'll wear the blue one.
Good. I'll return the yellow one tomorrow.
Why should I return the yellow one?
Well, you obviously don't like the yellow one.
Oh, Mother, I love the yellow one.
And why are you wearing the blue one?
You just said the... What's the use? I'll wear the yellow one.
Good. I'll return the blue one tomorrow.
Mother, you're impossible.
I'm impossible? What do you mean I'm impossible?
I can only wear one sweater at a time.
Will you two hold it?
Well, sweetheart, you asked my opinion and I gave it to you.
I picked the blue one. You think I didn't like the yellow one? I love the yellow one.
Hey! Will you two stop squabbling? It's Sunday.
Walter's right. We shouldn't be fighting. So I bought you 2 sweaters and you don't like either one of them. I'll return them both tomorrow.
Chris enters from the stairs.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, Chris, honey, did you sleep well?
Just great, Mud. Thank you.
Good. Walter, Chris is here. Time for our surprise. Walter!
What surprise?
No, Maude. It's your surprise.
It is our surprise.
No, Maude. It's your surprise. But since you like surprises, I have a surprise for you. Come here.
Our surprise can wait, kids. What's your surprise for me, Walter?
Close your eyes. I have a special surprise for you. I've been saving it just for you. No peeking.
I'm not peeking.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Surprise!
Isn't he wonderful? I mean, he's so unselfish. He wants me to get all the pleasure out of telling you our surprise. Come on, sit down. Sit down.
I gotta admit, she's got me intrigued.
Intrigued is just for starters. When I tell you what I have to tell you, you two are going to be jumping up and down for joy.
Mother, I know surprises excite you, but I've never seen you so full of it before.
Full of what before? Oh, excitement, honey. I am full of excitement. I mean, what other mother has the opportunity to make her kids so happy?
Well, come on. Make us happy.
Come on, Maude. What is it?
All right. Now, first, in 7 or 8 months, when Chris comes down to New York, the 2 of you are going to be married, right?
Right.
Right.
Now, when that glorious moment comes, you 2 will need what? A house.
The surprise is a house?
Not just a house, the house! Honey, it just came on the market and it is a steal. 2 baths, 3 bedrooms for $38,000, and it's a 2-story colonial, just like you and Chris have been asking about.
With a fireplace?
A fireplace, 2 fireplaces, one in the living room and one in the master bedroom. In the evenings, you can get romantic downstairs without having to go upstairs, and in the morning, you can get romantic upstairs without having to come downstairs.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and if we play it smart, we can put a can of Sterno on the staircase.
Oh, honey, just to make sure that nobody else had a chance to get it, Walter and I put down a deposit. It's our wedding gift to you.
Wait a minute, Mother. You put a deposit on a house without asking us? Oh, Mother, that's very nice, but Chris and I want to pick out our own house.
But honey, you haven't even seen it yet. Sweetheart, look at it. If you don't like it, fine, but I know you'll love it. Honey, all I want you to do is look at it and fall in love with it, okay?
Well, Maude, it's just that Carol and I would like to feel like we're on our own.
Honey, you are on your own. Look, you'll do everything else yourself.
Mother.
I promise I will not raise a hand.
Mother.
You can repaint the house yourselves. You can furnish it.
Mother!
Sweetheart, I know you kids want to be on your own. I appreciate that. Okay?
All right. We'll look at the house.
Maude, thank you, really.
Aww.
Well, where is this beautiful house?
Ah, the location. Honey, that is the best part of all. 10 minutes from the railroad station, the best schools in the entire county, lovely neighbors, and close to all the shopping centers.
That sounds too good to be true.
Well, Maude, come on. When can we see it?
Right now.
Okay, good.
It's that white one right across the street. Come on, get your coats on. Here are the keys to paradise. Oh, look at those faces. Oh, honey, I can't tell you how relieved I am. I got the house on some kind of crazy impulse, and I was so worried that you'd take it the wrong way. Do you know that I was actually terrified, Carol, that you might be so narrow-minded to say, Mother, I don't want to live across the street from you?
Mother, I don't want to live across the street from you.
You see? Come on, honey, let's look at the house.
Mother, I really don't want to live across the street from you.
Carol, Maude, I think what Carol is trying to say is she really doesn't want to live across the street from you.
Oh, I don't blame her. I haven't told her yet about the rumpus room in the basement. Honey, the present owners have agreed to leave the moose hanging over the bar.
I knew there was a catch. There's always a catch someplace.
Oh, honey, now wait a minute. I don't mean the whole moose, Carol. I'm just talking about the horn.
Mother!
Carol, here I find you a beautiful 2-story house with 2 fireplaces, and you're acting like it was an outhouse in Siberia.
Mother, you want to give us a wedding present? How much would it cost to move that house to another state?
Carol, honey, don't you think you're being a little rough on your mother?
Well, that's easy for you to say. You haven't lived with her for 28 years.
And what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Mother, please, I love you, but Chris and I would like to live our own lives.
Walter,
Hey, hey, Carol. Gee, you sound just like your mother.
That is a rotten thing to say.
Thank you, Carol.
Mother, all I mean is I don't want to be thought of as a younger version of you. I've got to be me. I gotta be me.
You sound just like Sammy Davis Jr. Of course, if you're ashamed of me.
Oh, Mother, please don't pull that ashamed of me bit with the sighs. You see, Chris, you see what I have to put up with? Mother, don't sigh. Mother, don't sigh. You did it again. Now look, I know that sigh. It's guaranteed to suck out the guilt.
Did you hear that, Walter? Chris? You hear how my daughter twists my words around? I sigh twice and she makes me sound like Dracula. I mean, what kind of monster is she making me out to be? What kind of monster?
Freeze, Maude!
What?
Freeze right there. Now, turn towards the mirror. That's what kind of monster. a well-meaning mother. In short, a metal mother.
Oh, thank you, Walter. Through your wisdom, you've made me see what I really am. Unhappily married! And as for you, Carol, you and Chris can move anywhere you want. Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Guam,
Mother!
Paraguay. So far as I'm concerned, you can go to Tibet and raise monks.
Maude exits upstairs. Walter follows.
Carol, if you don't mind my saying so.
Chris, I mind your saying so.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Cut to Maude in her room putting on eyeshadow. Walter enters.
Maude, what are you doing?
Putting on eyeshadow. Whenever I'm upset, I put on eyeshadow. It keeps my hands busy so I can't slash my wrists.
Maude, all children want to live away from their parents when they marry.
I know all children want to live away from their parents. I can accept that. I mean, the house isn't that important. I can get rid of it in 2 minutes. Carol hates me.
She doesn't hate you.
Walter, you heard her. What we're talking about is bigger than a 2-story house. We're talking about me.
Oh, I won't touch that line with a 10-foot pole.
Walter, don't you realize that you're looking at a woman who just found out her daughter has resented her for 28 years? What do I do now? I've just run out of eyes.
Maude, you interfered in Carol's life, and she rebelled. Don't you feel exactly the same way when your mother does that to you?
Oh, come on, Walter. That's totally different.
What's different about it?
Walter, my mother is listed in the Guinness Book of Records. She is the world's champion at being able to drive anybody up the wall in 2.5 seconds.
Sweetheart, are you listening to yourself?
You're right. Oh, Walter, I shouldn't have even looked at that house without consulting Carol. I was afraid she would act this way, and I went right ahead and did it. Why do I do things like this?
Why? Because she's your daughter, and you love her. Maude, do you want to make up with her? Go downstairs and make up with her.
Oh, Walter. Walter, what I put those kids through down there, do you know what I did? I pulled rank, Walter. I used my position as a mother to browbeat them. I'm sure they just feel so guilty about all this.
Darling, just go down and speak to them.
In a minute, Walter. I want them to feel guilty a while longer.
Cut to Carol and Chris arguing downstairs.
Carol, what are you so worried about? There is no way we're going to live across the street from your mother.
Then why did you yell at me?
I did not yell at you. But, frankly, you could have treated your mother with a little more diplomacy. You know, I'm a little surprised at your temper. Frankly, it flares, Carol. A definite flare.
So, you found out I have a temper? So, is it such a big deal?
No, but you don't always have to lose it in front of your mother.
What is so sacred about my mother? She's not a saint.
I never said she was a saint.
Well, not so loud. You'll ruin her day. You know what your trouble is? You're soft on mothers.
That is not true.
Oh? And what about your mother?
I'd rather not discuss that.
I've met her. I don't blame you.
Well, good. Why don't I just go back up to Boston? We'll forget the whole weekend, and I can call you Monday.
If that's what you want to do, go.
Oh, so you'll just let me walk right out of here?
If that's the way you feel, I'm not going to stop you.
Maude and Walter enter.
Children, children! In this house, we do not raise our voices. Now listen, I was silly and impulsive and very unfair. You kids should live anywhere you want. Now let's forget about the house.
Mother, thank you very much, but right now I couldn't care less.
Carol, don't apologize just to spare my feelings.
Mother, Chris and I have a personal problem, and if you don't mind, I'd prefer it if you butt out.
Carol, Don't yell at your mother like that. The least you could do is let the woman talk.
Let the woman talk? The most ridiculous thing I've heard in 28 years is someone pleading to let this woman talk.
And to think I was willing to live across the street from you.
Mother, you're driving me crazy!
Carol!
And so are you!
Well, okay. If you people will just excuse me, I think I'm gonna take a walk.
Chris!
A nice, long walk.
Chris!
You know, Carol, I don't blame him for walking out. In my entire life, I have never seen a woman treat a man like that. Walter, are you trying to tell me something?
Maude, first, you try to control where they live. Then you try to butt into their personal arguments. Sweetheart, you have got to learn to leave them alone.
That's lovely, Walter. That's really beautiful. If you were turned around the other way, it would have come straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, I think I'll join Chris for a walk. He could use a couple of pointers on survival in the Findlay household, also known as Demolition Derby.
Well, first Chris, then Walter. That only leaves Philip. Mother, what's the point?
Carol, there is only one point. For 28 years, you have resented your mother.
Mother, I do not resent you.
Of course you resent me. If you're not resenting your mother, you're not getting the most out of her.
I only resent you when you meddle.
And you're right for resenting me. Oh, the way that I meddled about the house with Chris, whom you probably love almost as much as you love your mother. It was my fault that he walked out of here.
Mother, that's not the reason. We were having a fight.
Oh, Carol, I deserve it. Attack me. Attack me as much as you want. But while you're attacking me, help me set the table.
I don't want to attack you. It's just that you insist on involving yourself in every little detail of my life. Like last week when I bought those false lashes, you said they made me look like a $10 call girl.
I said no such thing. I said wear them and you'd be picked up for soliciting.
See, you did it again.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I don't know what it is. I promise you from now on, I will not meddle. I will not interfere. I will not criticize. I will not tell you what to do. And Carol, those little forks go to the left.
What?
Oh, I did it again. Sweetheart, only because last Wednesday I was watching Dinah Shore and she always puts the little forks on the left.
But Mother, why must I put the little forks on the left?
Because Dinah expects that. Oh, Carol. Why can't mothers and daughters agree on anything? I will never forget that 8th birthday.
My 8th birthday? I don't remember my 8th birthday.
No, I'm talking about my 8th birthday. Oh, Carol, I was having a party and I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted chocolate cake and Neapolitan ice cream and hot dogs. And instead of hot dogs, do you know what my mother served at my 8th birthday party? Liverwurst. Liverwurst for an 8th birthday party. And there wasn't a German kid for 200 miles.
Mother, will you stop? You're going to make me cry.
And it serves you right. Carol, I can't help myself. Children resent and mothers interfere. That comes with the territory.
I know. You know, after what happened today, I think I'll drive up to Boston with Chris.
That's a great idea.
I better pack so we can get an early start and beat the traffic on the thruway.
You're not going on the thruway.
Mother, you're meddling.
Carol, you're interrupting. Now look, you take the Boston Post Road as far as Stamford, then get off there, turn north.
All right.
Oh, and Carol, honey. Thank you.